Hey everybody, your friendly math tutor here with the SAT Daily Challenge, Sunday, May 10th, 2026. So we have a pretty complicated looking, system with just a bunch of fractions, which on one hand is like, oh, I want to use Desmos because I don't want to deal with all these fractions. But the fact that it's open-ended makes me not want to use Desmos. It turns out that what the answer is, we probably would find it using a Desmos slider. But I don't really like to take that chance because if the answer were like 17.23, then, the way I'm about to do it, we'll find it as easily as if it, is what it is. But a Desmos slider would be much more difficult to find that. So I want to look at more generally like how we would attack a problem like this without using Desmos because I do think that's useful. So what I want is I want it to be in standard form. So this first one I'm going to rearrange. I'm just going to get 4/5 x. If I subtract 2/5 y, I'm going to get negative 3/5 y. Yeah, equals 2. Now this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this negative n over 3x to this side and make it n over 3x. Then I'm going to have the minus 2y. And then I'm going to bring the 1/2 to this side. I am not going to waste my time finding out what that is. The reason is, when we have it in standard form and we want there to be no solution, we want the x's and the y's to have the same coefficients and the constants to just be different. But whoever made the problem has to make sure that works out. So I don't really care what this number is. I'm focused more on the x's and the y's. So now what I want to do is I want to make these y's the same. So again, I get that it's kind of annoying because there's fractions, but hopefully, again, with these challenge problems, we're at a level where this kind of math we can do in our head without much issue. This one's a little trickier, but what I'm going to do is I want to multiply. My goal is to end up with a negative 2 here. Well, it's already negative, so I just want to end up with a 2. So I'm going to multiply by 10/3. You'll see why that works out in a second. So when I multiply this by 10/3, 10 over 5 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8, so I get 8/3 x. Now, when I multiply this by 10/3, I pick thirds on the bottom, so the 3's cancel, and then the 10 over 5 would give me 2. And then 10/3 times 2, I don't really care what it is, but it's so easy, I'm just going to write it. It's 20/3, right? Now I'm pretty much done because these are clearly different. I didn't really care about them. The y's have the same coefficient, and in order for the x's to have the same coefficient, n just has to equal 8. So the answer to the problem is just 8. Now, what I was saying before, if we had to use Desmos, we probably would have found it because 8 is within the slider range, and we would have started to see that they would have become parallel, and we would have gotten 8 understandably quicker than what I just did. But all they have to do is, again, like I said, the problem could have an answer of 17.23, and Desmos is going to be very hard to find that, whereas this method, it would be no harder. We would just be like figuring it out just using algebra. All right, so I think it's more important that you understand like how to do this because you don't want to be beholden to Desmos and then all of a sudden you have a problem where you're just like using a slider and you have to keep readjusting the scale and everything and then you just don't find it, whereas you could have just done it this way. All right, hope that helped.